monster. I was tracking it here through the day and just editing the post. So I closed out for 1550. It was an 1820. Closed out for 1550, so made 270 bucks. Took a partial loss on the other trade, so net was about a 60% return on risk. 134 was trading around 1450. 140, $14. Now it's up over $400. Again, full risk was $1.80. So $1.80 risk is now up over $400. Now it's up over $500. Now it's up over $800. Now it's up over $1,000. Now it's up almost, I guess, almost $1,300. So right into the close, 352, 357, showing 750, showing 550. It cash settled for about $1,080 on a risk of 180 bucks. Not a bad trade for double up. So, this is what I like to do for double up. It's like I might be out of the trade for profit and I might choose to get out for, a couple $100 of net profit, but I still like to learn from the losses and winners with double ups, winners especially, because the key to this is to manage your winners really, really well. And that was a big winner yesterday. Okay. Bill says, well, no big deal. That's fine. I mean, there will be more. It was just nice to see that, I'll give you the exact trade yesterday. So this was daily profit indicator. We were below the 100% ATR for the day. I'll update that in my ATR tracker. Give me a second. So ATR tracker for the 4th, 11.4, closing price 60.71. Take a screenshot of that. So we were down with it was a large gap right out of the gate, and we just finished near the lows. Prices are up a little bit today. Futures are back into flat. This is down like 0.6 last night, and then it just slowly kind of climbed its way back up. We'll see, but let me take a screenshot here. So large, 1% gap lower, rally, then retest lows and stayed at lows to close. Okay, so it was not between the 50s, but it was a win the day. That's good. So the trade yesterday for double ups, I was looking for 3. I only took 2. So when we started our day yesterday, we had this little rally here. We got filled on our daily profit play with our levels out here. That also, if you, and I don't like to hold daily profit play all day, but we did hold for a pretty nice win. $1.05 was closed out at 50 cents. So that's a nice winner. The day before we closed it out for full profit. We had our levels up here and we had $1 that I closed out for 5 cents. So 2 nice winners on daily profit play. Yesterday, prices were within levels that we needed. That was good. And also for double ups, when this rally started, okay, we have a close from the previous day. We have a low from that initial gap, and we're kind of right back in the middle, right? I mentioned watch this support level. Well, that support level held as resistance yesterday, didn't it? So what I did for double ups is I put in a profit trap up here to see if I could get a gap fill. I also put a profit trap down here to see if I could get a retest of the lows. So this trade was around a $2 risk, and this trade was a $1.80 risk. So yes, I'm taking on risk, but this one was able to offer up about $18 of potential profit, and this one was offering up $1,820 profit. So small risk, high reward, and when price came back down to retest, even early in the day, this trade was offering about $400 profit. So enough to cover this in full and walk away net profitable. That's what I did. And because it did that multiple times through the afternoon, we had a $400 trade here. Then it was offering about $600 to $700 here. And then at the end of the day, offering over $1,000. So this was offering about $1,300 profit throughout the day. It was late in the day. Like that's the magical thing about some of these butterfly spreads is when the butterfly spread starts to fill up and you're in that profit target late in the day or that profit trap, it's all profit, man. I mean, this thing, let's say the final 30 minutes, your P&L looks like this in the final 30 minutes, and then it just gets thrown right to the highs. So if I was around 67, 65 near the close, that would have been the ideal spot for price. And so when we closed at 67.71, max profit of around 18.20, closing at 71, I'm only $6.54 away from that. So 18.20 minus right? 1820 minus 654 is just under 1100 bucks. And then you take your loss here. So net, you're still making, 800 or 900 bucks on the day, which is awesome. So did I hold the trade all the way to close? No, I took the trade when it was up here about 300, 400 bucks. I took the profit, closed it. Good enough to take a, partial loss in the day, a nice win on the day, one on daily profit play. Net, it was happy. Okay. So, I threw the net. I threw the net to see like maybe this rally continues for a gap fill. It didn't. It came back down to retest the low. I did have a pending order in the middle. It just wasn't a fair price. I was trying to get like a 13.75 out of a $15 wide, so I was only trying to risk a buck 25. It never traded at that price. By the time we were at the lows, it would have traded for that, but I didn't want to keep that trade running because I thought, well, we're retesting the lows. That looks like the winning trade, so let's cancel the middle. We'll take a small loss on the upside and then manage the winner on the downside. Okay, so that was double ups yesterday. We closed at 67.71. Let's update that here. 67.71. So we'll have our new daily profit indicator. VIX is just under 19. We're looking at like a 1.08, I think, 18.95. So 1.18 potential move. It doesn't look like we're going to have a big gap today, one way or the other. We're pretty flat on futures, so we should be opening right around closing bell yesterday. So let's go to 1.18. So 68.50. 68.50 potential top. And the 60, we'll go 66.90 potential bottom. Okay, so potential top and bottom. The reason why these are important levels is we're opening up around the close. This is the first time we haven't had to deal with a big gap in a while. Last couple of weeks, we had lots of gaps in the markets. Just be cautious of the bottom price if the VIX is going to go back up. If the VIX goes back above 19, 19 and a half, maybe above 20, don't try to call the bottom. Okay. So if we see the market stay inside of our market maker move, let's take a look at SPX this morning. So IV rank at 21, VIX at 19. Let's go November 5th. Plus minus, I'm showing 48 points on the day. That's a pretty high volatility swing. But granted, 48 points, and we've got a VIX box that's looking at maybe 81. So I mean, our VIX box is almost double that. Which again, I'm just trying to get filled to some good prices. So I'll probably look like I've been doing the mechanics of let's take a look at these gap fills on the left-hand side of the chart. Have we filled this gap yet? Have we filled this gap yet? No. Have we filled this gap yet? No. So price now has to make a decision. Is it easier for price just to continue to slide lower, fill a gap, find a higher moving average on the bigger time frame, like maybe the 21 period of fish gets hit on the daily, and then we use that as a level support to bounce back up and fill this gap? Maybe. Think about this for a second. Every gap to the downside has been filled. Every gap for the history of the markets. Why? Because we've gone to all-time highs. So if we have gapped lower, we fill that gap. So if we're going to have bulls, eventually this gap gets filled. But I'm not saying I'm trading it now to say like, you got to fill that gap, because we could clearly fall back down to the 50 period moving average, which has been something I've been after for a while. Okay. So let's have a look at some of our levels. 67.50, that's pretty much right around that resistance and support. That would be, to me, that would make some sense. If we're opening up right here, we're still in negative gamma. So testing and hitting 67.50, is this a level of resistance to become support? It's very possible. Okay. So if you take a look, the gamma levels are pretty wide. Let me go here. I'm going to go live. I just shared this yesterday. So now we have this is Tanuki Trade, which is the same indicator that I have on TradingView. They also have a live feed on their app. So you get your 15-minute update on TradingView. But now you also have, so 0DT is negative. This is kind of cool. We're looking at positive gamma coming into the rest of the week. Again, this can all change, but it's interesting how this is now flipped from today is starting out negative gamma, and a big level is 67.50, which is what we show on TradingView charts. So as prices are flowing today, That is by far like the biggest, stickiest level. And because we're not gapping lower to it, there probably will be some direction towards it. So if we open up, bear call spread perhaps might be a quick payout. Um, if I don't know, it just depends if you want to jump in like right into the noise and try to take a bear call spread right to this level. So it could be an easy hit in the morning, but I don't know. I think I'm just going to stick to the same process we've been doing for daily profit play and making some pretty good clean decisions. I've it's been pretty nice having like the 12 deltas, 10 deltas get filled for $1. I'm not risking anything I'm uncomfortable with, and getting filled and getting some pretty easy profit. Like the reason I stuck with the daily profit play longer yesterday is because once we slowed, so we went from this low to this high. And I'm like, all right, I don't think we're going to go green all morning. And once we hit support to become resistance right in this area, like we talked about yesterday, it started to roll back over. As soon as I saw this thing slipping below, 70 cents, 65 cents, 60 cents, I was like, all right, I'm going to go for a 50 percenter. And I did. So just because it was like a slow grind back down, we also had lots of wiggle room where, the put side was way down here, the call side was way up here. And once we started to roll back over, I thought our trade for the day looked pretty good. So if you hung on to daily profit a little bit longer, great work. If you took the 50+% winner that I did, great. Still a winner. I don't know, David. That's the thing is, I mean, it's tempting. It's very tempting, right? If I take a bear call spread right when the market opens and we go down, I'd be taking profit right away. The concern, of course, is that I take a bear call spread and then price goes up. So if I'm going to take a bear call spread, I want to make sure I'm getting a decent credit and I'm not taking on a lot of risk. So if I went 5 wide and I got $2, 215, that's okay. But I just don't want to see price. Let's say it goes right here immediately. You take a fraction of that profit and then it bounces right back to try to find the positive and negative gamma pivot on the day. So I'm probably going to say no and just stick to my daily profit play. Pinch point type situation. I mean, I can show you pinch point. We're not pinched. This is way too short term to be pinched. We're not pinched. Okay, let me bring up pinch point. Oops, crap. Okay, so let's go into pinch point. I mean, pinch point is always a good setup. It just means there's direction coming. Doesn't matter if it's up or down. But I don't think we're necessarily pinched on SPY, Qs, Russell, Dow. We did have a trade on the Dow that we took profit on. If I search for the ticker, I go to SPY. Okay, no pinch. I go to QQQ, no pinch. I go to Dow, DIA, no pinch. I go to Russell. Russell is a get set. So let's go to Russell, get set. Let me confirm one thing. Let's go IWM. Take a look at the daily. I want to see how long this thing is. Technically, from my pinch point scanner, get set. I mean, we've been pinched on the Russell for just over a month, about a month and a half. So, I mean, there's a valid trade on the Russell. We were going to talk about it. I mean, I like to look at the go zone, right? The go zone, which has 32 stocks. But having the Russell in here, it's like, okay, we have an index that's now showing a get set, which means there's probably some volatility ahead. Yeah, it's not a bad way. It's like, is the Russell going to roll over and break down all by itself? Probably not. I mean, if the Russell's going to go down, it's probably like more downside if the S&P and NASDAQ go down as well. Or this is going to be pinched for some type of indecision where if the S&P stabilize and go back to fresh highs for the end of the year, the Russell probably outperforms. Similar to what we saw back in August, September, the Russell was outperforming those large cap competitors because the market was excited about rate cuts. So the Russell had a major catch-up trade this year. Okay, but yeah, it's a get set. So it's getting closer. There's a lot of indecision, which I think is something we can work with. That is correct. Yep. So Pinch Point Masterclass today. Pinch Point Masterclass today at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll type that in the chat. Pinch Point Masterclass and trading session live at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Yep. So if you have my Pinch Point scanner, you are welcome to join. You don't have to upgrade to lifetime. You can still get into the classroom. I'll still, take the trades I take today. You can have them. You just have to have the scanner. So if you're in my scanner group, scanner membership, you can get into that live trading session. Okay. Bill, I see your question there. What rule of thumb, what percentage of the single account do you have open trades at any time? It's more of you're talking about like percentage of the account with investments. I mean, if I had a pie chart, so whatever the account balance is, okay, if this is my pie chart, okay, I would say most of the time I'm working with about 50% in the market. So my 50% would be, quote, allocated, but that's not all in the same stuff, right? Of that 50%, I'm going to have a mix of gold and silver, some Bitcoin, some equities, some indexes, some options, some sectors, right? It's going to be all split up. And then over here, cash wise, cash, but it's also a box spread, which gives me about a 4% yield, and it's going to be in either BIL or I think it's SGOV. I like BIL better, but SGOV is another one. Those are short-term treasury mixes. So it's essentially, I'm not going to say it's risk-free because if something happens in the bond market, they get a little nasty, but they are like short-term maturities. They're like 1 to 3 month maturities. So if I wanted to hold cash that is unallocated, I can at least get like a 3 to 4% yield on that cash. A box spread, I can do the same thing with a little bit of a kicker. Typically, I get about a 4% move in a box spread, but that's very cash intensive. So if I'm not saying I'm always 50% cash and unallocated, but this year I got up to, when we had the pullback in March and April, this cash position probably reduced to like 30 to 40%. And I was, 50 to 60 to 65-ish% allocated. And now I'm back to like almost 50% cash again. So if that is your question, Bill, it's like I'm allocated, but it's a mix of, okay, so I've got some gold, got some silver, I've got some Bitcoin, I've got indexes. Indexes are probably most of what I'm trading. Indexes, and then maybe some individual sectors, options on all of this stuff, right? In fact, my top choice is I'm going to trade options on everything and then maybe decide if I like it enough. Like I do like gold enough. I do like silver enough. I do like Bitcoin enough. I'm going to hold and I'll use options around them to lower my cost basis and get the additional leverage. But most of what I trade is just options based with allocation. So I'm always having about 50+% buying power available. For these trades, we do daily. Yeah. So, here's my daily profit play. Like I'm allocating, literally maybe $500 to $1,000 a day to daily profit play, which is like less than 1% of my account. So, here, some people do this. Some people have 10K, 20K, 30K, and they leverage the snot out of that account and they trade daily profit play with that type of leverage. That's not my style. My style is this is one strategy. So look, I'd say daily profit play is going to get a little sliver of my capital. Waterfall income probably has a little bit more because it falls into my index area. Double ups is going to be a little sliver. Newsbreakers is going to be a little sliver. Pinch points going to be a little sliver. It's just trades. But every trade I take, this is what's helped me survive all these years. Every trade I take is almost inconsequential. If I lose a trade, it's less than 1%, like way less than 1%. So I'm never married to one position. I'm never tied. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't look. If the market sells off, pinch point makes money. If the market sells off, we've given ourselves buffer on waterfall. If the market sells off, we can make profit on daily profit every single day. If the market sells off, we can make money on double ups. So I'm trading the market as it unfolds in real time. So I don't have to get ahead of myself. I don't have to project anything out. Waterfall income strategy too. We built a lot of margin for error. So I mean, as long as the market doesn't drop 10 to 15% by the end of the year, we're gonna have a lot of winners. And I mean, to be safe, I might look at just taking some of the partial winners now and getting back some of the cash. And being I don't know, and I don't want to take the small wins, but it's certainly better than having a surprise move to the downside at the end of the year. So I do want to assess that today in waterfall income, and I might end up taking profits. We have a lot of our positions in waterfall income strategy too that are like 60, 70, 80% of max profit. So I might just be better off taking it. If I want the peace of mind, I want the buying power, that'll make Sean happy. Get some of the buying power back. So anyway, Bill, does that make sense? So every trade that I take is kind of individual, at least for the services, is all like fractions of 1%, and it just falls somewhere in like where I'm allocated. But I'm never married to the market. If things go up or down, I've got services that can benefit from both directions. And we approach it like in a very like near term lens. So I can always adapt. I can always adjust. I add hedges obviously with some of my stuff in crash insurance, the crash insurance course. So just trying to stay agile and survive. Okay, good stuff. Um, SPY debit spread set up as a 673, 674. Okay. I mean, if we go up a little bit, that should fill. That's good. That expires when? Today? Yeah, possibly. I mean, who's did you take the trade yourself, Oscar? Is that part of a service? I mean, if price is up, I mean, ES just rolled into negative, so we're going to open up a little bit softer. So we're probably opening below 675, just a little bit below pre-market. You need price to stay above 674, right? So you want to see just, I mean, again, for the day, it's like you just want to see price find a bottom and try to get green on the day, and you'll be fine. Yep. So okay, let's get to it. We've got opening bell here in just a minute. Let's assess some levels, plus or minus. We saw 47, 48 points in the day. This will probably change right away, and that's fine. Let's get cracking. So we're going to open up here in just a minute. Let's find some levels. So we'll go in to opening bell, take a look, assess. Let's go back to the VIX. VIX is at 1903. So about a 1.19% move today. We're opening up just around. It's not perfect, but it's going to be right around the close from yesterday. And there's our VIX box. So just a tiny bit, pretty much right around the close yesterday. Okay. So I am going to look at a lower delta. Let me see if this will make an adjustment here. So expect a move of 47. I might even go a little bit further out. We're trading at 70. Let's see. I'm going to go, that's 55. I'll go 10 delta. I'll go 10 again. And 10. SLV 15-cent debit. See what that is. So I'm going to go 10 delta for $1. Okay. Pending order is set for daily profit play. I'll get that in the members chat. So today's the 5th. Okay, pending order posted. There's not a waterfall class today, Rob, but if I do make some trade updates, I'll issue an alert for it. So if I'm looking through my waterfall income, so we closed out all winners, DIA, IWM, QQQ, SPY, all closed out for winners. The remaining trades I have on waterfall. So this one's up, 54%, 60%. This one's up 54%. This one is our freshest trade is done 2 days. This one's down, $10. This one's up 70%. This one's up 50%. Again, I don't mind closing out some of these trades, taking the profit. So it's not, making tons and tons and tons of profit. Some of these are still like 90+% odds of making money, but I also have probably more exposure than I want. And so I would like to maybe just be smart about this, take the profit, move on, get the buying power back. We can obviously always reassess. But that's a lot of open positions, and I'm doing this on literally every account. So I'm probably going to close out. If I do this all today, I'm probably going to have, I don't even know, 200 trades today. But it's okay if I'm taking a bunch of profit. It's all good. I'll take it. And I'll raise a bunch of cash. Okay, so we're right in between. Let me get some real-time gamma here. I just had something. So say here. All right, so ADP was a little bit better than expected today. So the market may be stabilizing on the. And again, it's like we had a 14th failed funding effort by the government, so we remain shut down. But it's like, having this market sell off, and it's like government shutdown concerns. It's like we've been dealing with a 30-day government shutdown, and we've failed 13 times. So why is it now that the market actually cares? It's just like anything to latch onto it. Technically, the market needs to pull back. We'll see what happens. So anyway, let's have a look. Let me go. So pretty quiet price action on the morning. That's fine. I think I'm going to put in a. I might put in a broke wing butterfly up here. If we have like an aggressive gap fill, VIX is at 18. I don't think it's enough to really get to those gaps, but if I use my VIX box and maybe have a profit trap up here, I'm going to see if possibly I can do like I don't know, maybe a 40, 45. That tops around 52. So I will do this. I'm going to put another pending order. 68. 68, 45, 50, and 60. See if this thing can get filled for $1. So this will be a broken wing butterfly. I'll try this one for $1. Price is gonna have to obviously go up for that to be the case. I'll give it a chance. So if it fills for $1, that's what I expect to make on the trade. There is a profit trap of another $5 in case it's like right at my strikes. But again, unlikely going to get filled. But there's a bonus trade if you want it. SPX 11.5 expiration 6845 6850 6860. Okay, that trade's in and pending. I had something on SLV. Close out naked puts on SLV for profit. That should be in my project options edge. Let's see what account that was. SLV. Okay, naked put combo. So we're trading at 43.53. I pulled in $1.26, closed out for a 15-cent debit. So got rid of three naked puts on SLV, which is good. $1.26. Close it out for a net $1.11 on three contracts. I'll take that. Okay. So keep an eye on a couple of key levels here. If we go just a tiny bit lower, look and see how this 6750 provides a possible layer of support today. If we hold this level, find this gamma at 6750 and then bounce back up, that could be, kind of containing price for the day. So a lot of a decision here. Maybe the market makes its way back up towards that positive negative gamma pivot point. Okay, let me get some real-time gamma as well. See what else is really sticky for the morning. Okay. So 6750 seems to be gettable today. I would say, double ups, if I'm liking the idea, we either hit this level and or hit this level. These would be inexpensive enough to hopefully see price, find them for the day. In a negative gamma environment, it's going to be a little bit tougher to find that pivot. That's the positive negative gamma pivot around 6,800. Let me make sure that's matching up. Yep, 6,800. So there's my pivot. All right. So let me see. It should be relatively inexpensive to have like the 50. I could look at either the 50 or 45 if we're going to get there this morning. Or if we come up to this level, I mean, 70 to 6,800 is very doable. I don't know what happened to my ATR levels. I think I just need to edit my study here. There we go. So I wonder where that went. So I mean, my 50% ATR, I think for the day is pretty doable. So we could have 35 to the downside. As long as I cast a big enough net, should be able to see some profit there. Or even doing a 68 or 6806, 6805 and going wide enough. We look at pricing these out for double ups. Let me see something. So 68. So if it did let me see how cheap the 05 might be a little bit more expensive, but I'm going to find out. 05, 05, maybe go 15 wide. So if I'm willing to risk 200 bucks on this trade, it's not bad. So you might get 13.20. All right, 13.15. That's a trade for double up. I'll post that in 30 seconds. Double up the November 5th. $13.15 credit, $1.85 max risk. Okay, that's one side of the trade. And then if we fall to 67.50, let me see if it's close enough. I can maybe capture some of this trade at like a 45 pin. 67.45. Try 13.60 on this one. So a little bit less risk. Okay. So I'm going after two nets on my double up. SPX 11.5 expiration. 13.55 credit. 6750 area or 6800 area and look to manage net profit. Okay, those alerts going out for double ups. So 30, 45, 45, 60. That is a double up. Double up. So I'm gonna look to see if I can get those to show some net profit on the day. If one is up, 200 bucks, one's down 100, I'll take the profit. One's up, 300 bucks, one's up down 150, I'll take the profit. Like my goal usually when I take these trades is if I can get $100 to $200 net profit, I usually protect it and then I kind of manage it through the day as far as just watching and waiting to see like what it could have should have done. But that's where the excitement is. I just, I rarely hold the trades all day when I've got a few hundred bucks in my pocket. Yep. So you'll see those trades in double ups. So right now, if price is going to fall to some fresh lows and find that 6750 gamma, two spots I would not be surprised to see price hit would be 6750 and possibly the 50% ATR. So this is 6750. My pin price on double up is 6745. And I've also got a 15 wide net. So it should be enough to start catching some price in the net and maybe offer a quick. I mean, I don't like quick winners on the butterflies. I like, steady. This is my favorite way to trade butterflies. If it's a slow and steady move lower, that's what I like to see because that's late enough in the day by like 12, 1 o'clock that this trade usually offers like, 150 to 200% profit. But we'll see. Sometimes you just got to manage it as is. The daily profit light hasn't filled, not yet. Not yet. Prices barely moved. Right? Look at this. I mean, we're talking about prices within about 4 points of the open. So nothing's filled yet. Okay, so what I'm going to look at doing now is let me look at some waterfall trades. This one's up. I haven't set any take profits on these levels, but I think I'm okay. Like this one still has if I've got 99.5% chance of profit, I'm probably going to get that profit. But if I want the buying power back, I'm going to free up somewhere between it's probably $1,400 worth of buying power. I'll free it up. I'll get it back. So I don't know. Let me see if I can take this one for a 20-cent debit. I'll go 20 cents and let it pend. So I'm gonna take some notes here. This is gonna be a busy like trade management overview. So that is the 12.19, 56.20, 10, 5600. So pulled in. All right, so I'm putting a 20-cent debit to close that. This one, 55 trading. Same thing. I'll do this one for 20 cents. So there's another 12.19. $70, 60, 50, and 25. Pulled in 55, looking to close for 20. Um, Actually, I think I'd be okay closing it. Like if I close at 25, it's not going to hurt my feelings. Let me see if I can close this at 25. If it'll close at 25, I'll just take the win. If it closes at 25, I'll take the win. Okay, not filled yet, but let's just let them hang out. Okay, this one is actually down slightly. I'll let that one just hang out. That was that trade we just took this week. This one, I'm up. I'm going to try to close this one for 20 cents. We got filled at 70. Let's try 25. This one might close. Not yet. Okay, 70 cents. So let's see, 55.30. All right, we're just doing some maintenance here on waterfall income. 25 cents got filled. The 56.20. Okay, so waterfall income, I'll find the trade. One of them just closed out for profit. Give me a second here. I'll find it. So we have an SPX trade, 56.20. Trade number 110. So trade number 110. All right, I'm just gonna type this into the Zoom chat. I'll do a whole summary for all the trades that I'm doing. So I'm doing waterfall, strategy 2, trade number 110. Entry was 55 cents, closed 25 cents, taking a profit. Okay, so that was trade number 110. All right, next. This one is the 31st. Trying to get it closed out at 25 cents. This one is for 60 cents closing out. I mean, it's like these numbers are so good. Like 56 is 55. Are we going to be like, I don't know. But again, I get the probabilities. Better safe than sorry. You know, to sit here and have like $30 more of profit compared to having, you know, $1,000 of risk. I'm just going to take the winner. So I'll put a trade here for 30 cents. It says 20 to 25 cents. I'll try 20 right now. 20 is not filling. I'll try 25. It's this trade here. So 12.31, 55.30, 55.25, 55.10, 54.90. Okay, so trying to close that one at 25. This one's 60 up 40. It's another 12.31 expiration. 56.10, 5600. Well, you can see this, not hard to keep track of it in Tasty. I saw your comment there, Arthur. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of trades, but when you can organize them, Tasty, there's got to be a better way to organize trades than Thinkorswim. Can you like group trades together? Otherwise, if it's all listed in one big format, like, yeah, I get that. That can be tough to track. 60 cents showing 40. Let me see if I can get out of here for like 20, 25 cents. Try to close at 20. Already have a closing order. 1056. Okay, 25. Okay, so that one, try. Okay, so 55.50. Close out for a 30-cent debit. That's trade number 112. So 30 cents. Shoot. Okay, trade number 112. 112, entry 65, closed 30 cents debit. Taking profit. So that one 54.90. Okay, I'll let that one hang out for a little bit. This one 56.25. See if I can close this one down for 30. So 12.31. 60 cents. Trying to close at the 50% mark. This one's a little bit lighter. December 57s. I'll try this one for 25 cents. This one's going to need a little bit more time. Okay, so that's a 12.31. 30, 20, 56.75. I just had one trade close. Let me double check that. The iron condor that we took. Oh, I just got filled today for daily prop play. Okay, good. So daily prop play today. DPP update. Okay, DPP filled. It means we had some price action then. There you go. Okay, it's nice that it's going the upside. Makes things feel a little bit better. Okay, we'll keep an eye on that one. I'll look at a 70% or a 70-cent debit to close. Okay, yep, good stuff. Okay, this one 56.70, 57.30. Okay, this one's up about 50%. It's up over 50%. I think I'm just going to take it. So I'm just going to put a blanket message in here, Deanna, for waterfall income. Waterfall income, trade management. If any of the open SPX positions are showing 50% profit, so 50% of max credit or better, I'm going to close and protect profits. More updates coming. Trade number 112 and number 110. 112 and 110. Trade 110 closed for profit. I'm looking to close some more. Okay. Next up here, 33%. This one's still in red. 47%, so it's very close. All right, so let me double check this. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cancel these closing orders and just go to a 50% winner and see if it'll just close it out. Okay, so I had this is trade 110, trade 112 closing. I'm gonna go back in. Daily profit play just still hanging out. Double ups to the upside. That would be our 68.05. Right now we're trading at 60. It's like we're showing 80 bucks on that trade right now. But you can see the trade-off, right? I'm getting a quick $85 on the double up. The other one is pretty much the same to the downside. So I've got to see if I can, hang in there with a little bit longer duration to get this to show a net profit on the winner and then close out the two for maybe, 50 to 100 bucks net profit or more, obviously. All right, so waterfall, setting a take profit. This is what's nice about Tasty's. I'm just going to set a close position, and I'll do close profit 50%. Which is interesting because 56.70, 55 cents. It should be closing for like 25 to 30 cents, not 20. Like I got filled at 55. Why is it telling me to close at 20? So let's do 25. It's like I need to close this like 27 cents. I'll let it hang out at 25. All right. So what's half? Close this one at 25. This one I'll go 50%. It's up more than that. I should be able to get this filled for like 35 cents, but I'll take see if we can go 30 cents. Filled at 30. Okay, so that's the 55.30 for 70 cents. That one closed for 30. So that's three winners. Uh, 0.70. That's trade number 109. Waterfall, trade 109. Entry 70, close 30. Okay. Waterfall income. Trade 109, close for profit. We're still going. Okay, so that one just closed out. This one's still running. I'll set this one at 30 cents. Going after a 50% winner. This one will go after 25. This one I'll go 40 cents, hopefully. Oh, come on now. I'll accept 45. All right, that one just got filled. So that was December 31st, 59. I'll find that trade. 59.50, 59.40, 59.30, 59.10. Trade was entered for 85, closed at 45, taking the winner. This trade number 115. Okay. So waterfall. All right. So waterfall updates. I'm just typing this in Zoom for everybody. I'm sending out alerts as well through Telegram. Waterfall updates, trades 110, one let's see, 109, 110, 112, 115, close for profit, 50% of credit or better. Tracker is updated. I'm putting other pending orders to close at 50% take profit targets. Okay. And then this one, 75. I'll put this one into, let's go 35. Okay. All right. So I'm setting take profits. That's 4 trades closed out. That trims things up a little bit. It gives me a lot of extra buying power. I mean, they just increased by like 6 or 7K. So I'm going to do that across the board. That's going to be a busy day for me just to manage all those trades, which is totally fine. That's my job. All right. Now we can get back to what's cracking for today. All right. Daily profit play showing 15, 20 bucks. That's good. Double up is showing a small win on the upside right now, 95 versus 70. If this gets a little bit larger, if I can get like a net 50 or $100, I'll probably take the profit on the double upside. So I did did I do 68 or 6805? 60. Oh, perfect. Let's see if we can get to so the pivot is right around 6,800. We get to 6805. That'd be beautiful. Now you're starting to see that we can, maybe get up to that 50% ATR. Maybe you can get up higher than that. Let's keep an eye on stuff. Okay, one trade just got filled, 5670. Let me double check that one. Which one just got filled? 56, 70, 60, 50, 25. That one closed out. That's trade number 113. 114 looks like no, not yet. I have that one setting at a 25-cent debit to close. Yep, it's not closed yet. So trade number, waterfall income, trade 113 closed. It was a 60 cents credit, 30 debit. Entry 60 cents credit. Oops, shoot. I'm editing that last message, Yana. So 109, 110, 112, 113, 115. Yep. Trades 109, 110, 112, 113, and 115. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, doing some work, getting some buying power back, trimming some risk. Um, prices, behaving today, so that's good. It's certainly better than watching the market peel down. But I'll see if I can get a winner out of double up today. If we kind of hang out around the positive negative gamma pivot, we maybe settle in around the 50%. Let price be price. Okay, so let me get my levels for daily profit play. 25 and 6,700. So 25. So 25 and 6,700. So, if we respect the ATRs, that could be a good thing. If we try to get into maybe some of this gap, it's like either way, it's like this is gettable, I think, for price today. Either we try to chew into this gap up here, and if we do that, double up looks pretty good. I just don't want to see price stay there. Obviously, for daily profit, I want to see price stay below this blue line and then up above this blue line. If we see something like this, if price is up here for the morning and then starts to roll over, I might keep my daily profit play longer and go from the dollar fill to maybe grabbing 50 cents or less on the debit. Because if this is a push and squeeze to then fade it, I'm hoping that our levels starting out at 10 delta are pretty safe. Okay. All right. I know that's a lot of stuff going on, but that's trading. So waterfall income, having a field day closing out. Again, I wanted to hold these trades a little bit longer, but it is a lot of risk. We've had a lot of stacked up trades. The last thing I want to have is the market do something silly. Where it's like, look, I realize that I could close these trades out for profit, and the net result is I could, wait an extra 30 to 40 days and I can grab another $30, $30, $20, $30, 30. That's fine. I'll make an extra couple $100. But to me, it's not worth it right now with the uncertainty of if this market rolls over and we have thousands of dollars of risk. I don't want that risk. So I'm going to tighten up this risk, take the profit and take, 50, 60 plus percent of the credit that we pulled in, take the winners, get our buying power back, and we can continue to just, grind out our trades. I think that's a better decision right now. Okay. I don't like the toppiness. Everyone's thought, oh, 7,000. Look, I get it. 7,000 is gettable, but we have to stabilize this crap. Like right now, this market is not necessarily rolling over hard, but going to all-time highs with no market breadth does have me concerned. Having a 30 plus day government shutdown does have me concerned. Having limited data to go on has me concerned. Having the Fed say they don't want to cut, they might not cut in December. I think it's noise, but it has me concerned. So I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to take some profit, and there's a pretty simple saying: you can't go broke taking profit. So eliminate the risk, take the profit, and we can always reassess. Okay. All right. So that's not too bad. One, two, three, four, five trades open, or I'm sorry, five trades closed. We still have open positions. I still have some trades on, but there's the take profits are setting around 50%, which should be a lot easier to hit than holding these things towards expiration. So if the market just hangs out here, I mean, I wouldn't be terribly surprised to see the market trying to, have at least a stable day or even pulling back into this gap. And we will see, similar to what I did right here. See how we had a gap here? We had a gap right here. Price spent 3 days chopping, but pulled back to find the gap and then faded. And then we went lower. So if the market does something similar where we have this area as a gap fill, market might spend a couple of days chopping, maybe trying to fill this gap. And if it's going to go lower, maybe it happens later. So it's like the hurry up and then wait. And then the hurry up and then wait. Classic military stuff. So we'll see. Okay. All right. Take temperature out there. How we doing? We all right? I know that was a lot for services. I mean, double up's got to trade, daily profit's got to trade, waterfall income doing some trade management, but that's what live trading is. Not funny money here. So I've got to do this and duplicate this in all of these accounts. So I'm going to be really busy offline. That's fine. That's what I'm here for. But eliminating a lot of risk. I mean, I went from like 18,000 buying power now to 26, almost 27. So I'm getting a lot more cash. By the time I do this across the board, I'll probably have, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm back up to like 2.6, 2.7 in cash, ready to, tackle whatever the markets throw at us. So it's good. And then I'll start looking for some hedges. You might be seeing something from the crash insurance side this week as well. If I find something today that I like, I'll look to take it. Okay. All right. I'll do this. So daily profit is just going to hang in there. We're up about 10, 15% right now. That's fine. Double up still watching. Net winner between the two, but a very small net winner after fees. It's going to be maybe up 10, 15 bucks. I'm going to try to get this winner a little bit larger on the 6805 call, the iron fly, the higher iron fly levels. I was going to say call fly, but it's not a call fly. It's an iron fly. Anyway, point is I'll be watching these P&L levels. Okay, 6805 with a 15 wide trap. If we get up to 6800 again, or 6805, or even into 6810, I'll see what this one's worth a little bit later today. If we come back down to revisit lows, 6750, if you remember, is still a large gamma level today. So did this, we're hitting the positive negative gamma pivot point. Are we going to try to hang out there and just kind of grind up for the day? If so, that's good for the iron fly up here. If we're going to rally, hit the pivot point, and then fall back down to the lows, is it attractive enough magnet to get down to 6750? That's where my profit trap is at. So I've got my iron fly that is 45 to 60. So 45 to 60 down to 30, I guess. So this is one area that I want to watch for some profit. And then up above the 05 down to 90. So that'd be current price up to 20. Okay. So do I have some weakness here? Yeah, the dead zone is in the middle, but it's a small risk, less than 200 bucks each. And we'll see if price is going to get up here for a bigger profit trap, or price is going to fall back down for a bigger profit trap. If it stays in the middle, that's perfect for daily profit play. I've got my debit set at 70 cents right now on the dollar. If it looks like it's better later in the morning, I might try to go after a 60 or 50 cent debit as well. Try to take maybe a slightly bigger profit. But again, profit's good. Okay, nice work, Chuck. Okay, so we'll continue to monitor some things. I will be watching as we transition in. Deanna's going to play a session for Pinch Point. I do have class today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. Everyone that has the scanner is welcome to come to class. This class is usually reserved for my scanner lifetime members that have my alert service. Today, I'm going to do it for everybody. So if you have access, if you want access to my Pinch Point scanner, check out the session. classes today at 2 p.m. Eastern time. This is the scanner. We have 32 stocks in the go zone. Let's have a look at them. There we go. So we got some prices. 33 stocks. Let's price them out today. We'll probably spend 60 to 90 minutes masterclass in trading. Some of these we already have trades running. Some of these are brand new. Okay. So I'm looking forward to being in class and pricing out some good trades with you. All right, Deanna, when you're ready, let's go ahead and cue that up. I'll be here watching the background because I'm still going to be managing trades on my end. If I do anything, I will update Telegram and continue to communicate. But pinch point class today at 2 p.m. All right, talk soon.